Hello friends, welcome. In this video I'm going to create a Laravel project and use Meilisearch and VueJS to search for a post. I'm going to create a post model. I created before a Meilisearch and Alpine.js instant search, and I had a comment in YouTube video for if I can create with VueJS, and that's what I'm going to do. Also, the comment said for the deployment, but if you go to the Meilisearch documentation, quick start, here we have the deploy. You can follow the guides here. Now to start with Meilisearch, you need to install, and I have installed using the homebrew. I'm going to zoom it. Okay, you need to install that, and I have installed as I said, and now I have run the Meilisearch and is on the local host. So if I open the local host :7700, here's the Meilisearch, and we have the articles, the index articles, which we worked with Alpine.js. Now, first I'm going to create a new project. So I'm inside the sites, and I'm going to create a new Laravel project, Laravel new, and I'm going to say VueSearch. Then let's also open the VueJS, the Laravel.com, Laravel.com, and let's search for the Scout. We need to install the Scout package. Also, we need to install the Tiling CSS. Let's search for that, and also I'm going to use the headless UI for the Modal using VueJS. So let's search for the headless UI also. And we have, using VueJS, we have this dialog modal here. Okay. So we are here. Let's navigate in the VueSearch project. And first I'm going to open the project with a VS Code. Okay. Now let's create the modal here. Sorry, that's the model, artisan, make model. I'm going to use post in this case, -m and factory. So create the migration and factory. And now let's open the post table inside. And I'm going to add only the title here. So $table. Use a string here. And let's say title. Save, close. Let's open the post model. And here we need to add the protected $fillable to be an array with just the title. And now let's open the factory, post factory, and here I'm going to add the title, which is going to be this faker sentence. I'm going to leave it as it is. And on the seeders, database seeder, on comment this line, change the model from user to be post, and also let's create 100 posts. Save, close this one. Now we need to create the database VueSearch. So let's copy that, and I use table plus for that. Let's create the database in here, new database, paste the name, click OK, and let's close this. On the terminal, I'm going to say artisan migrate fresh -seed. Okay, if I come here and refresh on the posts, we have 100 posts. Good. Now let's install the Scout. So search here installation, and let's zoom it. for you. So composer require Laravel /scout. Copy that and paste on the terminal. Next, we need to add the searchable trait here. So let's open the post model and in here also add the searchable and import that from the Laravel's code searchable. Okay, then we need to add the Algolia, or in our case Meilisearch. Copy this command on the terminal, paste that in, hit enter. And also we need to add this on the .env file, so the Scout driver and Meilisearch host. So .env, and I'm going to add it just right here, save and closed. On the terminal, now let's import the post. So I'm going to say PHP artisan Scout import and say app /models/post. And we have 100 posts imported. So let's open the Meilisearch and we have posts here. Good. Now let's install VueJS, Tailwind CSS and the headless UI. Open the terminal and let's say npm install. Let's install the Vue first. Vue add next. Also let's install the Vue loader. Vue loader add next. Hit enter. We need to install also the VueJS plugin for Vue, because Laravel now comes with VueJS. So let's say npm install add VueJS /plugin -Vue. Okay. Also we need to install the Tailwind CSS. Let's go using framework guides, Laravel, using Vite. Okay. Copy this command and maybe just zoom it for you. Come here, paste that in. Next, the npx Tailwind CSS init. And also we need to add now in the content. Just let's add for the, or let's copy what as it is. And let's open the Tailwind config and in the content, paste that in, save, close. On the app CSS, add the base components and utilities. So in the resources, CSS, app CSS, paste and save. And now run the npm run dev. And on the blade, we need to add that one. So let's copy, and in the views, we are going to work with just the welcome, paste that in. Also, we need to add the JS, not only the CSS. So let's come here, add an array, and also say resources, JS, app.js. Select everything inside and just add a div with the ID to be up. And let's close that. For now, save this one and let's open the JS, app.js. Here we need to import the view. So import the create app from Vue. Then I'm going to create a constant for that. Constant app create app. And in the JS, I'm going to create a new folder, components, and inside the new file, I'm going to name it search.vue. And here, for now, just let's add the v setup and say on the template h1 welcome, and let's close that. save. Now I'm going to say app dot mount to the ID of app, but first we need to use that component, so app component. And I'm going to say search, and we need to import that search, or just, no, I'm going to say search like this, and let's import the search. So I'm going to say import the search from component search like this. Okay, save. In the welcome now, let's add this search here inside the div with ID of app. Let us self-close and let's open the project. So the project has a name VueSearch, and I have Laravel VueJS, so let's say vue-search.test. And we need to run the npm run dev. So in the VS Code, I'm going to open the terminal and say npm run dev here inside. Okay, a refresh. I have installed, oh yeah, in the vite config, we need to add the, I forget to add that, so let's say import view from VueJS plugin, and on the plugins add view, like this. And now, yeah. But we don't see the welcome. And that's it, because we need to add, instead of view, we need to add something like this in the app.js. Let's save. And now we have the welcome. Okay, now install the headless UI. So in npm install headless /UI view, sorry. In the terminal, let's paste that in. npm install, okay, and now let's copy the component and replace the search component with that. So select all, paste that in, hit save, and now if I open the project, yeah, we have something like this. Good. Let's start and work with the search now. For that we need to install also the Meilisearch for the front end. If we scroll down, we can install it for the JS npm install Meilisearch. So let's copy that and open the terminal and paste that in. And also you can see we can import the Meilisearch or with import like this, and then create a constant using that host, and we can search by saying client.index, specifying the index, in our case is post, and search and add here the string. First, on the modal, I'm going to remove the dialog title and what we have inside the modal. Okay, so if I open here the project, yeah, I'm going to remove everything and add an input. So the dialog title, and say here add an input, and the type of the input is going to be search. And also we need to add the v model or the query. Next, let's add some classes. I'm going to say width to be full, border none, and let's say also block. What we can say also around it, just MD for now. And let's close this. If I open, yeah, we have something like this because we need to install also the Tailwind CSS form plugin. So if I search for form on the Tailwind CSS, let's navigate here and in here again and install the plugin, copy that in the terminal, paste that in, and then we need to require on the plugins. So open the Tailwind config.js inside the plugins and there I add that, save, and now let's close this one, and yeah. Okay, we have something like this, and maybe change the button. So under the search, we have a button, and I'm going to remove everything here and say BG to be Indigo 600. On hover, I'm going to change that. On hover, I'm going to say BG Indigo 400. Now the text is white and so on. Let's save and let's see. Yeah. Now let's start and work with script. So we need the query and we need something similar to the Alpine.js. So first I'm going to create here a constant for the query, which is going to be query and equal with a ref an empty string. Then create a constant for the what we need. We need the client, which also is going to be equal with ref and initially null. Also the constant for the results, which is going to be not an empty array, but I'm going to initialize the null, the same we had on the Alpine.js. And also we need the constant for the selected hit index, selected hit index, which initially is going to be not -1 but 0. Okay, now from the view we need to import, and I'm going to close that, and maybe that's search. We need to import the onMounted and also the watch effect. I'm going to use the watch effect to watch for the query changes. Good. Now let's scroll down. Here we have this open value calling the close modal, so to close the modal. And I think initially this is true. Let's change the false. Okay. And down there I'm going to create the onMounted. And here I'm going to say client dot value to be equal with new, and we need to import also the Meilisearch. So let's import here Meilisearch from Meilisearch like this. And now the onMounted, I'm going to assign the client value with new Meilisearch, and we need to add the host here, which is going to be the not localhost 92 but 7700 like this. So now we have the client. I need to create the search method and watch for the query. So let's do that. Let's create constant search, and we need to make this async, and also we need the query inside. Let's close this, and in this search I'm going to check if we have a query. let's say results value is going to be await client dot value, but also we need to add here the index. So client value dot index, and the index is post. Okay, so here we have the index post. Very good. And we need to add the query here. Also, we can add the limit, but let's leave it for now. And just I'm going to say console log results.value. And now let's work with the watch effect. So watch effect here, and we need to watch for the query. So I'm going to add the search and pass here the query value, and it's going to watch for the query, this watch effect. So if I save as it is right now, so we just to show you, we have all the values, the query, the client, and the results. On mount, assign the client value with new Meilisearch, and at the host here, we created the search method, and we check if we have a query, assign results value with await client value index post, and search for this query. And here we watch for that query. If we have a change, it's going to run this search. And also here we add the console log. So just let's see now. In the project, refresh. Yeah, we have a console, network, and let's clean this. If I open, nothing happened. Type something. Yeah, we make a search. And on the console, we have here a proxy. Target, we have here the hits, which is an array with 20. And if I change something here, let's clean and let's add something. Yeah, it's going to update. And now we have an empty array. If I change that, down there we have an array with empty again, so we don't have anything to match this string. Let's type something else, and we have here the target, an array with, and let's zoom it because I think you don't see that. Now you see. So we have a target, and hits is an array. If I see down there, target, we have an array with 20 hits for the T. Okay, let's close this and let's come here. So we have the results. What we need now, we need to render the results on the template. So when we have the inputs, after the input, I'm going to make a v4. So let's say down there, I'm going to add a template, and in here I'm going to check first if we have a result. So if we have a results, if that is okay, I'm going to say found and add the span, which is going to say v-text equal with results, and we need to add that. So let's open this target. Yeah, we need to check for this estimated total hits, and let's copy that and say dot estimated total hits here. Close the span, and I'm going to say found results like this, or maybe on the then let's make a anchor tag, and here I'm going to say v4 hit, and we need the index, so I'm going to say hit and index. In results hits, k is going to be index, and href is going to be not something like this, but let's say I'm going to add the backticks / articles / and the not the hit slug, but let me just do something like this. And instead of hit slug, I'm going to add the hit ID because we don't have slug. And then not display the title in here, but I'm going to add a h1. So cut and add a h1 and paste that title here. Let's save and let's see. As you can see, we have these results, but we need to add some classes because on the anchor tag, I'm going to say add a class, which is going to be a block. And I'm going to add a width full. Also, let's say py to be 2 and px to be 3. Also, I'm going to add the border on the bottom, so border dash bottom, and the border is going to have the slate 200 color. Now, if I save and come here, yeah, you can see we have something like this, but we have a long modal. For that, we need to add on the search also another parameter, an object with limit to be, for example, 8. If I save and come here, open that and type something, yeah, we have only 8 results here. Okay, so this is so, and we can filter them. Yeah, you can see, for example, let's search for totem. Yeah. Now let's work with that navigating with up and arrow down. So for that, if I open here, first in the input, we need to add some key events, and let's say on key down, I'm going to call the, and just not on the key down, but on the key down up, I'm going to call the focus and focus previous or previous results or previous hits, and on the key down dot down, I'm going to call the focus next hits. Okay, and we need to call them like this. And let's create now. So copy that, scroll down and say function with that name, and one more for the next. Okay, scroll down, and here after this one we need to create that another function. And not like this, but like this. Okay. When we scroll up on the up event, we need to check if the selected hit, which by default is 0. And for that, let's add here on the anchor tag, we need to bind, let's bind the class just to show you where we are. So I'm going to say FBG blue 300, and this is going to be to apply only if the index is triple with the selected hit index we have, which by default is 0. And one more thing, let's add here around it the BMD and save. Clean this. If I open and type or something, yeah. I'm going to check now if the selected index, which right now is 0. If that is 0 and we scroll up, we need to navigate here, which means the selected index is going to be the results hits length minus 1, because the index is going to start from 0. And let's do that. Let's scroll down when we have the focus previous hits, and here I'm going to check if the selected index value is not smaller but is a triple with a 0, which initially is that. Okay, if that is true, I'm going to say selected hit index value is going to be equal with results value hits dot length minus 1. Okay, else if we don't have 0 the selected index, I'm going to say, so if that is not 0 but is here and we scroll up, we need to just remove 1. So let's say selected hit index dot value is going to be just say minus like this. Now for the next hits, we need to check if the selected hits value is not triple with the results value hits length, but is smaller. Now if that is smaller, and let's close that. So if this is smaller than this one and we scroll down, we just need to give 1. So let's say selected index dot value plus plus. Otherwise, if this is not the results value his length minus 1, which is mean is not smaller than this one, I'm going to, and we need to navigate, and we are here and we scroll down, we need to set up to 0 again. So let's say selected hit index dot value equal to 0. And with that, now if I just clean this and open, let's say something like this, scroll down, yeah, scroll up, okay. Now if I scroll down and scroll again down, we navigate like there. If I scroll up and scroll again up, yeah, everything works correctly. Now if I just, as you can see here, the view search and articles and the ID, but if I type, yeah, if I come back and let's open, type for something, nothing happened and we have an error. And first we need to remove this. So on the search, let's remove the console log. But on the close, when we close the modal, what I want to say also the query dot value to be an empty string, also the results dot value to be null, and then the selected hit index value to be 0 again. And let's say come here, refresh, open, type something, and let's close, open again, type something, yeah, it's working. Now if I select this one, and I'm not going to click with the mouse, but I'm going to hit enter, nothing happened. And we need to add a on-click event on the input. So here I'm going to say on key, I'm going to say on key up dot enter. I'm going to call the not focus next hit, but on hit enter, and let's create this now, this method. So scroll down, and after this one, I'm going to say function, create a constant which is going to be hit results value hits and select hit index dot value. So we get the hit from the results hits, passing the selected hit index value, and then say window location to be equal with what we have added also on the anchor tag. So scroll down and paste it here, and then also I'm going to call the close modal. And let's save, come here and refresh, open the dialog, type something, scroll down, hit enter, and yeah, we navigate to the articles and the ID. And if we are here, everything works. Now, the last thing what we want is, so if I open and just click with the escape key, it's going to close, but I want also to open with the command key. And this is not going to work right now. What we need for this, we need to create an event. So what I'm going to do on mounted, I'm going to add on window add event listener. So let's say window dot add event listener, and let's say key down. Okay, and let's create the on key down event. So I'm going to close this. So right here I'm going to say const on key down event is going to receive the event here. Let's close that, and inside I'm going to check first if the is open dot value, which means if the is open is true, I'm going to return. So we don't need to open the modal, because the is open the modal. Otherwise, I'm going to check if, and the event key code, not something like this, but we are going to check if the event dot meta key. And yeah, also we can search for the control key just if we are in the Windows, and let's remove the shift key. So if, and let's add in the parentheses together, and let's remove this return. So here we're going to check if the event has the meta key or the control key, and also we need to add the event key, not enter, but the event key is going to be k. If that is the case, we need to open the modal, which just we need to say is open value to be true. And let's save that, open, refresh, command K, and yeah, it's open the modal, but because we are in the Firefox, let's open the Brave browser. And let's copy this URL, paste it here, and command K, yeah, search for something, navigate, very good, escape, command K, escape, open dialog, very good. So now we have the search with VueJS. I hope you enjoy and see you in the next video, friends. All the best.